Okay, so yeah, we're gonna work on neck and thoracic spine. This is gonna be about 30 to 40 minutes. For those of you who this is your first time with the class, it's about 30 to 45 minutes. Every week, we're just breaking down different parts of the body for the first 3 weeks. So it'll be like neck and thoracic spine. We'll work on some low back, some hips. We'll work on some lower extremities one day. And then the last 3 weeks, what we're going to do is we're going to just kind of put everything together. So everything we've been going over, just because I want to show you guys some good routines that you can do, 10 to 15 minutes or 20 minutes. If you want to do a nice stretch routine, you could kind of pick and choose from everything we're doing and put them together into one solid stretch or mobility routine. So let me get set up and we'll get going. What you'll need today is yoga mat, and we're not going to do any lacrosse ball stuff, but if you have a foam roller, you're going to need that. If you don't have a foam roller, just kind of stick with us and maybe grab like a rolled up towel. That can work pretty good too. All right, well, let's get going. Get this set up to where you can see me. Okay. All right, so what we'll do to get started is my favorite for whenever I usually warm up my neck and my shoulders. It's just shoulder rolls backwards. So you're going to do 30 shoulder rolls backwards. We don't want to go forwards because that's bad posture. We want to go up, back, and down because that's bringing the shoulder blades back. It's bringing the neck back, and it's not going to tighten things up. So let's start with 30 of these. And this mobility class is all about not trying to rush through things. If you're going through stretches and you're just trying to do them just to get them done, you're not really accomplishing much. It's all about taking the time, getting the feel for things, and really trying to get quality stretching and quality movement. Keep going with those. We'll go up, back, and down. Gonna do about 15 more. It was funny with round one, I had a lot of feedback of, wow, I never knew that I could feel that in my neck. Talking about like tightness and restricted movement, so it's good. Hopefully everybody learns a little bit more on how to assess for self-restrictions and being able to do movements that they haven't done before, to where when they do get tight in the neck, they can have that idea of how to get it loosened up. Let's do about 4 more. Okay, good. And then let's do some scap squeezes next. So what you're going to do is you're going to sit up nice and tall, and you're going to pull your shoulder blades down and back. So I always tell people, you're trying to take your shoulder blades and you're trying to put them in your back pocket on the opposite side. So right scapula towards the left back pocket, left scapula towards the right back pocket. Squeeze and hold for a couple seconds. Don't arch your back with these. Just try to keep all that movement coming from the shoulder blades. Getting a little pinch. We'll do about 15 of these. For those of you taking the class again, you'll see probably a lot of the same moves that we did last time with some new stuff mixed in too. We're going to try to mix it up and not just do the same thing as last time. Let's do a few more. Make sure you're breathing. Sitting up nice and tall, getting those shoulder blades squeezing down and back. Last one. Okay. Next, let's stretch out upper trap. So upper trap muscle are these big guys right below your ears. So to stretch those, you're just going to side bend your head towards the opposite side. So grab the top of your head, right on the side right there. Gonna pull it towards your opposite shoulder. Keep this shoulder down, so the shoulder on the opposite side, keep it down. You'll feel more of a stretch with that. If you're up here, you're not really doing much. So shoulder down, feel the stretch up into the neck and down into the shoulder. Hold that for about 30 seconds and then we'll switch. At home, if you're doing this and you just want to really focus on getting a good stretch with this, I'd hold it more for like a minute and a half. The longer you can hold it, the better stretch you're going to get. All right, let's switch. Remember, keep that shoulder down. You're pulling the head straight over to the side, stretching that upper trap out. Holding that for 30 seconds again. Keeping that shoulder down. That side is tight. Let's hold for about 5 more seconds. Good. Now we're going to stretch some scalenes. So to do that, we're not just side bending. We're going to go down and out. So you're going to grab the top of the head and to the side just a little bit. So if your head was a square or a rectangle, you're grabbing that corner. You're pulling down and out, keeping that shoulder down again. And if you're doing it right, you'll feel it in the back, outside part of the neck. Same thing, 30 seconds, and then we'll switch. My neck just popped, that felt good. Hold for a few more seconds. Again, shoulders down, pulling back and out. Okay, clean up nice and easy, and we'll switch. So again, grab that corner, pull it down and out, keep the shoulder down. You should feel that through the outside and the back of the neck. Make sure you're breathing. And a big thing with neck issues and thoracic spine issues too, that a lot of people don't think about is water intake. I've been having a lot of people coming in the last 2 weeks complaining of neck pain, and I'll work on them and they'll be like, I got a little bit better since last time. And then I'll just tell them to drink more water, and you'll be surprised how much that's actually helped a lot of people. They're like, wow, water made a huge difference. So make sure you're drinking water, especially now that it's starting to heat up. Okay, good. Now let's go. I'm gonna turn this a bit. We're gonna go on our back on your yoga mat or just on the ground. Okay, so what we're gonna do, we're gonna start with a little bit of a chin tuck. So if you had that wooden rod going through each ear right here, that's your pivot point. Okay, so what you're gonna do is it's like you're doing a small nod forward, like you're nodding yes and no, but you're just gonna bring it down just a tiny bit, get those cervical neck flexors engaged, and then from there, you're gonna rotate over as far as you can, and then you're gonna do a big chin tuck at the bottom. So you're gonna try to touch your chin to your collarbone. And then you'll bring it up. Keep that little bit of a chin tuck, rotate all the way across. Chin tuck again. And what I don't want to see when you're doing this is coming over and then instead of chin tucking, your mouth's opening up and you're reaching for it. So mouth closed, chin tuck, keep all that motion coming from the neck and not the jaw. So let's keep going back and forth with those. Chin tuck in with that rotation. back and forth, and let's do about 10 to each side. So let's say we've done about 3 or 4 each way. This is working to get that C1 area loosened up, so that really, that spot right at the base of the skull, we're getting that little flexion with it. Do a few more. Okay, and then relax, take a deep breath. Let's sit up, adjust this again. Okay, so we'll sit up. I'm gonna turn sideways so that you guys can see me well. So most of us are out here, forward head, rounded shoulders posture. So I think I was talking about this last round a little bit. For every inch that your head is forward, so if you're way out here, that's 10 more pounds of pressure that you're putting on your neck. I think your head weighs about 12 pounds anyways. So every inch that is out here, that's another 10 pounds that you're adding. So then if you're severe forward head, rounded shoulders posture, and you're having neck pain, it's like, no wonder why, because you're way out here and that's all that pressure on your cervical spine. So what we're gonna do is we're gonna kind of battle back with that, get some muscles engaging, get some movement going through the neck. So you're gonna sit up nice and tall, and you're gonna start in your normal posture. So for me, it's right up here. My ears and my chin are way out in front of my shoulders. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna do a little chin tuck down, and then I'm gonna bring my ears and my chin back so that they're in line with my shoulders. And I'm gonna hold that for 10 seconds. And then bring it back. And then pull it back in. Call this the selfie pose because you make a really good face while you do this. For me, I get a nice little double chin going. But you should feel some pressure when you do this. If you are tight, you'll feel it in your cervical spine and your thoracic spine. So we're pushing, getting things moving that aren't used to moving that way. So that's the whole point of the class. Let's do about 4 more. Make sure your shoulders aren't coming up towards your ears, keeping your shoulders down. If this is really hard for you, then it's showing one of your limitations. It shows that you need to work on this. Okay, let's do 1 more. Good. Okay. All right, now let me adjust this again. And we'll go on the ground, on your back. Like that. Good. Okay, we're gonna do some floor angels. So you're gonna bring your arms out, let everything touch on the ground. You got fingers, wrists, elbows, back of the shoulders, everything's touching right now, okay? What I want you to do is I want you to slide your hands up overhead while touching the ground the whole time. I want you to touch as far as you can above your head and then slide back down. So 90-90 right here. This is 90-90, arms at 90 degrees of abduction, and then 90 degrees of elbow flexion. So we're just gonna slide up and down, keep everything touching, touch at the top, or as far as you can go. Some of you won't be able to go all the way to the top and down. So we'll do 10 of these. That one feels good. This is getting your scapulas rotating upward, getting them moving off that thoracic cage. So what happens a lot of times is that the scapulas will stick down to that thoracic cage. It'll make you feel like your back is tight. You'll get some trigger points in there, or it'll limit your shoulder mobility as well. So the scapulas play a big part. We want to get those moving. These are one of my favorite for that. I like doing this against the wall too. The wall, up against the wall is even harder. Let's do a couple more. Still breathing. All right, and then bring everything back down. We're gonna roll onto your side, arms straight up like this. And then what you're gonna do is bend your knees up to lock out your lower back. And then I want you to just rotate up and over as far as you can into that thoracic rotation. So you should feel this in your upper back. Watching your hand the whole time with your head. We'll do 10 of these each way, nice and slow. Make sure you take some mental notes while you're doing this. See how tight this side feels, because we're gonna flip over and do the other side, and you can compare, okay, am I more limited with right rotation, which we're doing now, or left rotation, which we're gonna do next? It's all about how far can your hand get to the ground, or how close to the ground can it get without your hips opening up and rolling too. One more, then we'll switch. Okay, let's switch. Do 10 to the other side. So again, knees bent, arms out. Watch that arm and come all the way down. For me, this side is way better than the right. Do 5 more. Two more. Okay. Next, let's grab those foam rollers. We're going to put it perpendicular to the spine, so we're going to lay on it like this. I want you to put the foam roller right at the bottom of your scapula, so right at the bottom of your shoulder blades. We're going to start there, get your feet nice and even. Let me scoot up a little bit. And then what we're going to do, hands behind your head if you can. If your shoulders aren't mobile enough, or if it hurts to get your hands up there, you can always just leave them by your side. But for those of you that can, put those arms behind the head, go up into a bridge, so butt off the ground. Relax back over that foam roller as much as you can. and we're just going to roll up and down. This is the meat tenderizer. We're loosening up those paraspinals, rhomboids, scapular muscles. We're going to do this for about 30 seconds. And the more relaxed you can be while we're doing this, the better. Because if you're just tense and tight the whole time, you're kind of battling back with what we're trying to accomplish. So as relaxed as possible, 30 seconds of mashing, rolling, loosening things up. If you're tight, it's going to be tender. Let's do a couple more up and downs. Okay, and now bring it all the way to the bottom of your shoulder blades. Just down a little bit. Okay, so bottom of your shoulder blades, hand behind your head still. Now what you're going to do is you're going to drop your butt down to the ground. Hands behind your head still. Take a deep breath. Extend back over that foam roller as far as you can. Take a deep breath or two. Okay, so what we're working on is thoracic extension. So we're working on mobilizing segment by segment with this. So keeping the butt down is going to let us go segment by segment, trying to work into that extension. So you're going to start there. I want you to bring the foam roller up towards your head, maybe half an inch, not too far. And then we're going to do the same thing. So think about just going one vertebrae up, extending back over that. Few deep breaths, then we'll go to the next spot. We're going to do this until we get to the spine of our scapula, that's going to be our stopping point, because you're not going to get much out of it after that. The spine of your scapula is going to just feel like you're pushing on bone back there. We're still about one away from that. Couple deep breaths. Mini sit up, and then one more. Now I'm getting to the spine of my scapula. I can still extend over it a little bit, but if I try to go up one more, it's just going to hurt my shoulders and my neck. Okay, now we're going to work our way back down. So now foam roller is going down towards the glutes. Half an inch, and extend back over it again. Couple deep breaths. If you're really tight, your back will pop doing this. You'll get a release. Move down again. We're going to go down another 3 or 4 segments. And the stopping point for this, you'll know, will be bottom of the shoulder blades, because if you start going lower, then you'll hit those ribs, those lower ribs, and it just hurts. It doesn't even feel like a good stretch. So if you get to that point, just stop. Let's move it down again. Starting to get close to those lower ribs. It'll be about one more down. Okay, last spot. Extending back over that. Now it should start to get a little uncomfortable, so this will be our stopping point. Okay, then slowly come back up, reorient. You might be a little lightheaded from that. The blood get back into the shoulders, down the arms, into the head. I'm a little lightheaded. So as you guys are adjusting, I'll bring this back up. Okay, let's sit back up and let's take a few deep breaths again. Get adjusted. Next one is, I call it a prayer stretch, but it's lower trap activation, getting the scapulas rotating. You're going to start prayer position. Then you're going to rotate your pinkies out. Then what you're going to do is you're going to think about your elbows being on an arc. Okay. If you had all the mobility in the world and things weren't restricting you, you'd be able to touch your elbows straight behind you down your spine. So that's our mentality as we go pinkies out, pinkies going back towards each other like we're trying to touch them behind our back. Should feel that through the lower traps, which is right here through the low back or through the back. So imagine not in the front, but in the back. Squeeze in there, holding for 3 to 5 seconds. This is a great one for people that are feeling really tight while they're at their desk. Getting that burning pain in the back through here. It's about right in there in that rhomboid area. Try doing about 15 of these, and that should give you some relief. We're going to do 15 of them right now. Keep the elbows as tight as you can. Squeeze and pinch. Make sure you're breathing. Nice deep breaths. By the end of these, you'll probably have a little bit of a muscle burn in the back too. Back of the shoulders, low traps. So we are engaging. Sitting up nice and tall. Let's do 5 more. Get nice and slow with these. No need to rush any of these stretches. Couple more. All right, 1 more. Good. Okay, we're going to do 1 more exercise. You're going to be on your hands and knees for this one. I want you to sit back onto your heels so that you lock out your lumbar spine. So you're locking out the low back here. Hands are going to be straight underneath your shoulders like this. And what you're going to do is you're going to go 1 hand behind the head. If it hurts, you're not able to get your hand behind your head, you can go hand behind the back like this. I'm going to go hand behind the head, sit back onto the heels. You're going to rotate as far as you can, in and out. Just finish with 10 of these to each side. So really try to focus on getting that stretch through the upper back. Coming from the neutral spot, which is straight down, to up and out as far as you can. Breathe. We're going to do a couple more and then we'll switch. Okay, one more set on the other side. Sit back and rotate. Let's do 3 more. Good. Come back to neutral, nice and easy. Take a deep breath and relax. Okay, so that is week 1. We just did thoracic spine and neck. So what I want to do now is if anybody has any questions or concerns about what we just did, I want to save this time so that you guys can fire away and I can answer any questions. Next week, we're going to do, I think we're going to do some lumbar spine. Just going to take it kind of week by week what we want to do, just because I'm creating it as we go. So I think it'll be more low back and hips next time. And then probably the next one after this will be more lower extremities, knees, ankles, and hips specific. Okay, so does anybody have any questions? Oh, I saw somebody had a question on the chat. Okay. Yeah, lumbar spine will be great. All right, no questions from anybody? If not, I will see you guys for week 2. It'll be same time, same day next week.
Thank you.
All right, no problem. Have a good day.
Thank
Have a
you.
good weekend, actually.
Bye-bye.
Thank you.
All right, bye.
My neck thanks you.
You're next.
And,
Yeah.
You're welcome.
and it'll be the same Zoom.
Same Zoom. Yeah, I'll send out another link next Monday.
Thank you.
Okay, no problem. Take care.